regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Alabama Community College System. We thank each and every one of you for your presence and for your interest in the work of this board and for the contributions and the work that you all make to the system. At this time, I'll recognize President Jeff Rhodes, who will give our invitation.
Good morning. I know this is not a complete Baptist congregation because Dr. Sykes got my seat. One thing I feel we need more of than ever before is encouragement. It's believed that much of the New Testament was penned by the Apostle Paul. Paul, who was previously known as Saul, had a life-changing experience on the Damascus Road. After this enlightening event, Paul was on the right path, but quickly got sidetracked in memories of his past and uncertainty of his future. But God had a plan. In Acts chapter 9, it says that Barnabas took hold of him and brought him to the apostles. The rest of Paul's journey is documented in Scripture. I mentioned all this to identify Barnabas. Barnabas was known as the son of encouragement. The word encourage simply means to put courage in. I once heard it said that courage is a small voice at the end of the day that says, I will try again tomorrow. At our prospective colleges, we encounter many students and potential students that are somewhat entangled in their past. Many have a fear of failure. They might question, am I able to learn? Can I overcome the past? Or will I ever be successful? Let us pray. Father, thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you for allowing us to mentor others and to help them get started on a new journey. I pray that those that have the courage to accept the challenge will finish well. Please give this Board of Trustees and Chancellor Baker the wisdom to lead us. Grant us understanding to carry out the mission of this system. And above all, I ask that you provide protection so that we're able to accomplish all of this in a safe environment. May everyone that enters the doors of our institutions be greeted by one like Barnabas, one who is willing to assist, advise, and especially encourage. May our colleges be the pathway to a new life for those who are struggling. Help us, Father, not only to be leaders, but to be makers of future leaders. I ask now that you be merciful to all that are in the path of Hurricane Michael. Please protect them as they travel, evacuate, and as they return back home. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, President Rhodes. If y'all everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chancellor, I think we have a special presentation.
It's Edith Smith for you.
It's always a pleasure to meet a living testimony to the impact the Alabama community colleges have in shaping the future of Alabama one student at a time. Megan Big is one of those students. She credits her career and career accomplishments to the seeds that were planted during her time at one of our community colleges. Megan Big is a licensed professional counselor and a counselor education doctoral candidate at Auburn University. She owns her own counseling private practice called Consulting, MR Counseling and Consulting in Mountain Brook. Prior to opening her practice, she worked for approximately 8 years as a school counselor in Auburn and Shelby County school districts. Megan is currently the past president of the Alabama School Counseling Association. She has presented nationally on the topic of trauma-sensitive schools, teaching educators how to help their students who have experienced trauma. And she has contributed to publications in both counseling journals and books. Please help me welcome a student testimony, Megan Vick.
Thank you, Chancellor and Board of Trustees, for inviting me to be with you today. So I want to start by talking a little bit about my experience as a student at Central Alabama Community College. And I want to ask you first, when you look at me today and you hear about my accomplishments, I'm curious as to what you might think. What you think my personality is like, what kind of student I've always been. I mean, I am getting my PhD, and I do own my own private practice, and I have been the president of a state counseling organization. I think some people might assume that I had a lot of support growing up. I think some people may assume that I was always a star student, but that's not the case. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I grew up in poverty. It was around the age of 15 when I was at a girls' spend the night party that I first learned that family members, not all family members, share bath water. I asked one of the girls, did you save the bath water for me? And she looked at me like I was crazy. And I felt crazy for a moment. And then I realized that that wasn't a norm. But because I lived in poverty, sometimes we did do things like that, or we were low on food. So when I was graduating high school in 2003, neither of my parents had attended college. My mom dropped out of high school and she got her GED, and my dad had graduated high school but had not gone to college. Both worked at a local factory in Sylacauga called Avondale Mills. Some of you may remember it. In 2003, when I was graduating high school, though, the mill shut down. Both of my parents lost their job, they filed for bankruptcy, and we lost our home. That was when I was entering college. I really didn't know what to expect about college. I didn't understand you could take the ACT multiple times. So I signed up to go to Central Alabama Community College. I felt very welcome there, and I received information about financial aid. I was able to get a Pell Grant that completely covered all the costs of my education. I was able to get my books and everything I needed. And so I started school there, and I quickly learned about opportunities that the school presented. Student Government Association, the Cultural Unity Organization, and although I'd always been a student who was fine with making C's and A's and B's, I never really applied myself, but I had the abilities. I suddenly found myself wanting to apply myself more and wanting to be involved in these organizations, so I joined. We even took field trips to Montgomery, and I learned about civil engagement and leadership. And I received individual support from the professors and the teachers at that school. If you think about a race, there's a starting line. And I feel like I was a few steps back than many people who were on the starting line. But because of my experiences at Central Alabama Community College, I felt like I was able to even the playing field when I went to a four-year institution. One of the professors that I had, Nathan Brackeen, he was an English teacher, and English was something I struggled with. I did go to school in Coosa County, and so I didn't always have the best, first generation college students are not always as well prepared as some other students. But he told me one day, I said, I'm going to do better on this next assignment because I didn't do so well on the first. And he said, you know what, Megan? I want you to not talk the talk, but walk the walk. And that stuck with me throughout my whole career and throughout my whole schooling process. So I went on to get my master's degree at Montevallo and my bachelor's there. And now I'm about to be finishing my PhD in counselor education in 2019. I attribute all of this to the foundational block, the foundational education, and the way that Central Alabama Community College was able to help me catch up to that starting line. So I thank you all today for all you do. It makes a difference. And I was able to break the cycle of generational poverty. Thank you.
meeting?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. McInally. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? Any changes to the minutes? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of the approval of the minutes of the September 12th, 2018 meeting signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Minutes are approved. Public comment, Mr. O'Brien.
Mr. Chairman, we did have an individual contact the system office yesterday morning. We had desired to message board on their own behalf and others. The topic on which she identified to the rest of the board was a particular campus at a particular college. That topic is not one of the specific agenda items on the board's agenda for today. Consequently, I recommend, based on the bylaws and practice, that these individuals not be recognized for the purpose of presenting to the board this morning.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Item 7, academic and student affairs, adult education, facilities, fiscal, information technology, and workforce development. Item 7A1 is revision of a special building fee at Central Alabama Community College. This was on our work session last month, and I think there's been ample opportunity for any additional information needed to be presented to the board, questions answered. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Ms. Foy. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of approving the revision of special building fee at Central Alabama Community College signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 7A2, Rapid Workforce Training Center at Bevel State Community College. Once again, this was on the work session last month. This time I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Woods to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Davis. Any discussion? There being none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the Rapid Workforce Training Center at Bevel State Community College signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 7A3, allocation of 2018-2019 industry certification initiative fees for career coach program for the Alabama Community College system. There was a presentation on this at last month's work session. At this time, I will entertain a motion on this item.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Brown, second by Mr. McInally. Any discussion? There being none, we'll move to vote. All those in favor of approving the allocation of the career coach program fees for 2018-2019 signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. On 7A4, allocation of 2018-2019 industry certification initiative fees for the MSSC training initiatives for the Alabama Community College system. Once again, this was also last month's work session. Presentation on that and discussion. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Davis. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Brown. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to say happy to see this. Thankful for our workforce people bringing this forward. These colleges that are becoming involved in this, excited for that and look forward to all of our colleges becoming involved in the MSSC program.
Any other comments? There being none, we'll move to vote. All those in favor of approving the MSSC training initiatives for 2018-2019 signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 7A5, allocation of fiscal year 2018-2019 carries. Item 8A2, new mission statement for Bevel State Community College. Once again, all of these mission statements were on last month's work session, have been discussed by the board at the work session. At this time, I'll entertain a motion on item 2. Motion by Mr. Woods, second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? There being none, move to vote. All those in favor of approving the mission statement for Bevel State Community College signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8A3 is mission statement for Northeast Alabama Community College. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Mr. Brown, is there a second? Second by Mr. Woods. Any discussion by the board? There being none, we'll move to vote. All those in favor of approving the mission statement for Northeast Alabama Community College signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8A4, mission statement for George C. Wallace State Community College, Selma. Is there a motion? Motion by Mr. Fantroy, second by Mr. Smith. Any discussion? There being none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the mission statement for George C. Wallace State Community College, Selma, signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 8A5, Wallace State Community College, Hansford. Resolution for recognition of the men's basketball team. Dr. Carlos.
Good morning, Chairman Thompson, fellow members of the Board of Trustees, and Chancellor Baker. It's an absolute pleasure and certainly an honor to be here with you today for this purpose. And that is to ask you to commend by resolution our men's basketball team for having been recognized last season by the National Junior College Athletic Association for having the highest team GPA in the country. That's certainly something to be commended. I first want to say thank you for your support of athletics in our community colleges in the state of Alabama. They are important to us. Our athletic teams are important to Wallace State Community College. They are important to our identity. They are important to our brand. They're important to our culture. They're important to our student life. And they're certainly important to our community and to the student athletes who participate in those programs. I consider it to be just another spoke in the wheel of workforce development, because we might think that all of these athletes dream of joining the NBA or the major leagues, but really not all of them do. Some of them certainly do and are capable of doing it, but many of them dream to be engineers or nurses or physical therapists or coaches or teachers or athletic trainers or sports managers. And they use their athletic talents to pave the road of financial access to achieving that dream. I certainly want to recognize also Coach Meeks today. He and his team raise money every summer when he's not under contract. They raise money to do the things that enable them to achieve excellence in athletics at Wallace State. In recent years, they have raised money to take the team to the Dominican Republic to hand out backpacks and shoes to children who are underprivileged. So they are focused on community service. They raise money to participate in preseason athletic tournaments that enable them to be better players. They raise money to buy laptops so that the student athletes have better devices on which to learn during their academic success center time each day. And they raise money to provide a dedicated tutor just to this team. These students work hard. Oftentimes, when I roll into campus at about sunrise, they're already well into their conditioning routines, sweaty, hot, and not long after that, they complete, they go to breakfast, they shower, they go to class all day, and then around 1 or 2 o'clock, I see these anthills moving throughout campus to go to the Coliseum or to the soccer field or to the baseball field or softball field so that they can practice. And then somewhere between 5 and 5:30 in the evening, I see them start coming into the Bailey Center for their study halls. The basketball team has a dedicated academic success center that they fund through the funds that they raise during the summer through basketball camps and that sort of thing. Coach Meeks is an excellent coach. He's an excellent role model and mentor to these young men. He teaches them what it means to be men, what it means to be a Christian, what it means to be a father, what it means to be a son or a husband, and certainly an employee. When I asked him this morning, I said, Coach, am I correct in saying that 100% of your sophomores have earned an associate degree when they leave here? He said, well, no, not quite. Only 93% of them. All of our athletic teams have graduation rates that are higher than our college-wide graduation rate, and that's something we are particularly proud of. We focus on it as an institution and as multiple teams. These teams reflect our values. This men's basketball team reflect our values of character, work ethic, integrity, and academic excellence, and certainly self-discipline. Thank you for considering a resolution to commend them today that I will offer to you now. A resolution honoring the men's basketball team at Wallace State Community College. Whereas Wallace State Community College's men's basketball team was named the 2017-18 National Junior College Athletic Association Academic Team of the Year with the best team GPA in the country, a 3.48 average GPA. And whereas 8 Wallace State Lions players were recognized by the NJCAA for individual academic accomplishments, Jordan Walker, Max Clark, Jerry Wamba, Chris Rollins, DeMarcus Lampley, and Mike Johnson earned NJCAA all-academic second-team honors with GPAs between 3.8 and 3.99, and Jonathan Andre and Kevin Wharton Price earned NJCAA all-academic team third-team honors with GPAs between 3.6 and 3.79. And whereas the Wallace State men's basketball team, under the leadership of Coach John Meeks, sets regular goals for academic achievement, makes success in the classroom a team priority, and boasts near-perfect graduation rates. And whereas the influence of coaches and impact of their mentorship on student-athlete development cannot be overstated. Whereas the Wallace State men's basketball team, under the leadership of Coach John Meeks, has earned 2 of its 3 Alabama Community College Conference championships and the NJCAA Division I National Tournament appearances. Coach Meeks has guided the Lions to 6 postseason appearances in the past 8 seasons. And whereas Coach John Meeks, the 2014 ACCC Coach of the Year and 2015 ACCC North Division Coach of the Year, has achieved a 151-105 record at Wallace State after 8 seasons, and holds the college's men's basketball record for wins in a single season, with 32 wins in both 2007, 8, and 2009-10. Whereas Wallace State is home to 2 former NJCAA first team All-Americans by sport, with Corey Cooper Wood and L.A. Farmer earning their designation twice. And whereas the Wallace State men's basketball team, which served as the foundation for Wallace State athletics program when it began in 1976, has represented Wallace State and the Alabama Community College system with distinction for many years, now therefore be it resolved that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees hereby commends and honors the Wallace State men's basketball for its accomplishments on and off the court, most notably its recognition as NJCAA Academic Team of the Year having the best GPA in the nation among all men's basketball teams. If I might introduce Coach Meeks to you so that he can introduce the team. Coach Meeks.
Thank you, Dr. Karlowicz. Our program is honored by and thankful for the opportunity to be recognized today. I would first like to introduce the members of last year's team that have traveled with me. They'll stand when they're recognized. Jalen Hodges from Duluth, Georgia, 3.48 GPA. Joshua Scott, Lithonia, Georgia, 3.51 GPA. Ciara Seau, Huntsville, Alabama, 3.61 GPA. Christopher Rollins, Akron, Alabama, 3.81 GPA. Maxwell Clark, Lawrenceville, Georgia, 3.83 GPA. Jordan Walker, Durham, North Carolina, 3.85 GPA. DeMarcus Lampley, who actually had his wisdom teeth taken out yesterday and is not here. Phoenix City, Alabama, 3.86 GPA. Jerry Lawamba, Lubumbashi, Democratic Republic of the Congo, 3.88 GPA. And Michael Johnson, Ackworth, Georgia, 3.92 GPA. Once again, I would just like to thank the board for this opportunity. Since the first day I became a college basketball coach 17 years ago, my motive was to teach student athletes more about winning life than winning games, to help them leave my program as better people, but more importantly, educated young men, great husbands, and loving fathers, despite whatever model with which they might have grown up. Many come to us as student athletes turned away from four-year academic institutions based on a foundational lack of academic preparedness, especially during their high school years. My job has been to serve as a catalyst to help them realize the untapped greatness that lies within each of them. I personally take no responsibility for this award at all. Dr. Karlowicz has already highlighted the things that we've done within our program by employing a full-time academic coordinator, but also these guys to understand the opportunity to start from scratch academically, to make up for any past regrets, and possess a never satisfied attitude when it comes to academic achievement. Lastly, and certainly not least, credit goes to the inspiring faculty of Wallace State, instructors who do not teach just to teach, but teach so that students learn, taking a personal vested interest in the maturation of each student. Once again, on behalf of Wallace State and our men's basketball program, we appreciate this honor, and go Lions.
At this time, we have an item before us. I'll entertain a motion to approve this resolution of recognition for the men's basketball team for Wallace State Community College, Hansville. There's been a motion by Mr. Davis. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Brown. Discussion. Any comments from the board?
Excellent job, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, thank you for your hard work. Thank you for being here. You honor us with your presence. Coach Meeks, Dr. Karlowicz, thank you for your leadership and for setting a culture of achievement and academics, prioritizing that at your college. And thanks to all our presidents and staff that do that elsewhere. I know they do. But this is a special recognition and just great. Just great. Such a positive thing. Thank you all for being here. Team members, keep it up. It's just great. Thank you for what you've done.
I do think this is a prime example of what athletics can do at a school. If it's managed properly, it is one of the greatest assets that can be on the campus. Absolutely.
Anything else from the board? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving this resolution honoring the men's basketball team at Wallace State Community College, Hansville, please raise your hand. Anyone opposed? It's unanimous. Item 8A6, Chancellor, I think you have a letter of resignation.
I do have a letter of resignation that is offered to me by Dr.
President Branch from Coastal Alabama Community College, signify by raising your hand. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Item 9, personnel.
Michelle, come forward, please. I'd like to recommend the Alabama Community College Board of Trustees appoint Dr. Patricia Sims as president of J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College, effective the date being 1 December. Or I'd like Michelle to give us a review of her resume.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Chancellor Baker. The executive search for the president of J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College was posted for 30 days as required by Alabama law. The search yielded 40 completed application packets. And after undergoing a thorough review process, Chancellor Baker has selected Dr. Patricia Sims as the college's next president. Dr. Sims' career in education spans over 24 years, 16 of which she has served in higher education. A veteran educator, Dr. Sims served as a teacher, an assistant principal, and principal for the Huntsville City School System prior to entering the realm of higher education. Dr. Sims is no stranger to the Alabama Community College system and Drake State. She previously served as Director of Student Services Management and Dean of Instructional and Student Services for the college. It is in her capacity in each of these roles that Dr. Sims also co-chaired several system-wide committees responsible for reviewing and revising policies. Dr. Sims was a nominee for the Alabama Community College Chancellor's Award for Administrator of the Year in 2007. And she also served as president of the Alabama Community College Association in 2012. Dr. Sims serves as Dean of the College of Education at Athens State currently, a position in which she has held since 2014. Dr. Sims is a demonstrated leader in the educational arena. She is passionate about students, a 2011 recipient of the Alabama Deans of Students Association Othel L. Washington Student Affairs Officer of the Year Award. Dr. Sims has proven her commitment to student success. As an active leader, Dr. Sims is committed to serving the Huntsville community. She stands ready to lead J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College to new heights. Drake State students, faculty, and staff will surely soar under her leadership. Dr. Sims.
At this time, we have a recommendation before us for the Chancellor for him to appoint Dr. Patricia Sims as president of J.F. Drake State Community College. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Ms. Brown.
Second.
Second by Mr. McAnally. Any discussion?
I would like that these two board members participated with me in the interview process. So if you have any comments.
I do. That was an opportunity, and I am excited about the leadership of Dr. Sims. You have such experience, and we're excited about the future of Drake State, and such an exciting time in the area of North Alabama, and your leadership will be embraced, I'm sure, by all, and we stand ready to support you. Thank you.
Dr. Sims, I would just say that it's an honor to be able to have you appointed today. I'm glad to have been a part of the interview process and to get to know you. I know you understand the area that you're going to in the Huntsville, Decatur area, the potential. You talked about it, and it's tremendous. And I am so excited to see what will happen with J.F. Drake and how Drake will become an integral and important part to all that's going to go on in North Alabama. I'm excited for you and look forward to the future.
Any more comments?
I'd like to recommend.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, all those in favor favor of approving the Chancellor's recommendation for Dr. Patricia Sims to be appointed as president of J.F. Drake State Community College, Community and Technical College, please raise your hand. Anyone opposed? That's unanimous. Congratulations.
Good morning, and I am so excited to be here. And as I look around, I see lots of familiar faces. As Ms. Sylvester indicated, I'm no stranger to the community college system. Having spent time in P12 and at the university level, those experiences, while they were really good for me, they confirm what I've known to be true, is that my passion is in the community college system. I'd like to acknowledge my family members that are here, my husband Mike of 26 years, my mother-in-law Katrina Gill, my sister-in-law Kay Gill, and other colleagues that have supported me. I'm really excited about Drake State and its future. So Mr. Chairman, Chancellor, board members, I appreciate your vote of confidence. I'm looking forward to working alongside you and moving Drake State forward and to leading Drake into its bright new future. Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning, Board of Trustees and Chancellor Baker. I'm here to introduce our new employees. Please stand as I call your name. Bruce Tennyson. Bruce Tennyson joined the system office on 9/17 as an enterprise architect in the IT division. Mr. Tennyson joins us with 24 years of experience in technology. Thank you. Lee Thrasher. Lee Thrasher joined the system office on 10/1 as the network and phone administrator in the IT division. Mr. Thrasher joins us with 10 years of technical and information support experience. Thank you.
Item 11, date and location of the next meeting. We will, in about 3 minutes, we'll reconvene for our work session. Everybody take a brief break, please. And our next regular meeting will be in this room on November 7th at 10 a.m.